I've come to this table about an hour to go on day three. We're about 60 odd players left. We're already deep in the money. We haven't reached the stage where ICM's really taking off, but we are at a point where people are starting to see the finishing line and think about maybe getting to the final, build a stack that they can take to the final with them. And in this context, I've come to the table with 45 bigs, I think, which relatively low, uh, but but not bad. And they've seen me play two or three hands in an hour, and only to roll over one of them. And from the hand that I've rolled over, it's clear that I'm playing fairly, wouldn't say necessarily passive, but certainly defensively. I've seen Spencer, who I get into the pot with, start off when I sat down with a similar stack to me, but managed to get it all in with aces against top pair and double up and then win a couple more pots. And we're getting right to the end of the day, and he's got himself in a great position. He's very comfortable. I think he's already mentally bagging up his chips. All of this matters to the way we both play the hand. I raise in mid position with ace ten of hearts, and they've only seen me make one raise at the table in late position, and that other raise I just gave up when I missed. Spencer has flat called behind me. He's on the hijack. And obviously at this point, he can have a lot of hands. I don't think he can have aces, kings, or queens. It's not impossible. I mean, people sometimes will just flat call with a really big hand here and hope someone's going to squeeze. But because of how tight I'm playing, it's unlikely that you're going to get action by doing that. And I think that he's going to play his hand straightforwardly. So the hand that he does have is way at or even beyond the top of the range that I would expect him to have at this point. He could have any small or medium pair. He can have any suited ace. He can have any suited broadways. I don't think he's got a lot of suited connectors. Okay, so that's the hand that he's actually called with. And as I say, that's a bigger hand, or the biggest hand that I could possibly give him credit for. Whereas I, on the other hand, I'm not capped in that way. I can have aces or kings. So when this flop comes down, I've got two overs, backdoor straight, backdoor flush. But I'm going to put out a little feeler bet, almost regardless, and see what Spencer does. And a lot of the time, he's if he's got something like king queen suited, I don't know, he might decide to take one card, but I don't think he's going to raise because this is not a bad flop. If I've got an overpair, this is not a bad flop for me. So when he raises, now he's condensed as far as I'm concerned. I don't think he's got many nines. I don't think he's come to the flop with many hands that have got a nine in them. He could have sevens full, but I think he's probably most of the time going to flat with that hand and hope that I catch up if I've got two overs. So to me, he's got a pocket pair most of the time. To me, it looks more like sixes than it does looks like the hand that he's got. So he's under-repped his hand really, and I kind of feel like, okay, you're trying to find out where you are with something like sixes or eights, and I'm going to show you where you are. I'm going to show you that I've got an overpair to this flop, and I'm leveraging really the whole of my stack. I'm putting in an additional 100 on top of the 65 that's there, and that's enough. If he wants to continue, he's going to have to play for the whole 500,000, which will reverse our chip stack positions right at the end of the day. So it looks like a very tight fold by him, and it is. And I don't think that I would have attempted this move if I'd known what he had. I can see why. I mean, I certainly was thinking he might. It would be difficult for him with tens. And any smaller pair, and he's probably going to throw it away. So everything about this hand was about the context, about the way we'd seen each other play, about where we were in the tournament, about how he was about to bag up 1,000,000 chips just by throwing his hand away. And I think, another time in the tournament, he doesn't let me get away with this. And I don't attempt it either. So that's, like I say, this hand is all about the context.